Joining us, Nick Pivetta is already back in his hotel room in Providence and ready to speak to both Boston and local media here in Rhode Island. So, Brendan, if you're on, if you want to start it as you usually do.
Can do that, Bill. Nick, Brendan McGeer, Pawtucket Times. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Welcome to New England. Just wanted to get your feelings on coming to a new organization and how, at this point in your career, after being with the Phillies for the past 5 years, how it might benefit you to have a new set of eyes and perspectives on you.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be with the Boston organization. They've made it really prevalent that they value me as a starting pitcher, and that's what I believe I am. Obviously, I wasn't pitching well enough out of the bullpen with Philly to kind of put myself into that opportunity to be a starter, and they chose to go with some other arms over me. So being traded and having that opportunity is really important to me, and I'm looking very much forward to that.
I believe Chaim Bloom came down to Pawtucket to speak to you in person. Just in general, what was that conversation like?
Just getting on the same page, developing a good plan for me moving forward. Obviously, I'm not built up as a starter yet. I just threw 3 innings the other day. I only threw 3 2/3 last time I was in Lehigh, and that was a couple days before I got traded. So it had been a while since I'd been on the mound. So just a slow, progressive build up moving forward, and then see where I'm at after that.
You've changed teams before, at organizations before, so that's nothing new. But what's it like changing it during the middle of a pandemic?
Yeah, the pandemic's been it's made things a lot slower from what I've seen. Just getting the testing done. There's off day in between, so just kind of getting all my stuff. Getting out here to Pawtucket was obviously a priority, just so I could get on the field and start throwing as soon as I could, to make sure my arm stayed in shape. So dealing with that stuff, it's been a lot, but it's it's definitely an experience.
Appreciate it. Best of luck going forward.
Thanks very much.
Nick, Alex Spear with the Boston Globe. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What have the last couple of years been like? I mean, you obviously had 2018 in which you looked like you were kind of creating a nice foundation for yourself. Last year, you end up having the experience, having struggles, getting optioned. This year, again, getting sent to the alternate site. How you spent the offseason trying to work on, clearly trying to work towards something. How would you describe just this trajectory of the last couple of years?
It definitely hasn't gone the way that I've wanted to, but I've been given an opportunity here for a fresh new beginning. So it's just taking what I've learned from my past experiences and moving forward and developing the pitcher that I know that I can be, and that the Boston Red Sox believe that I can be. There's a lot of moves that happened, especially last year in 2019, that were out of my control, and they neglected different directions. And then, to be honest with you, I was feeling really good in spring training, and then the whole pandemic happened, and then it was a quick spring training 2.0, and I didn't pitch to what they told me that I didn't pitch good enough, and Vince Velasquez had won that starting opportunity for me, and then I didn't pitch to my best out of the bullpen. And so, just getting a fresh start and moving forward is what I'm mostly looking forward to, developing a relationship with a lot of these guys in Boston and really building things back up.
You've made a number of changes over the last at different times, right? People have asked you to change your arsenal, change, how you attack with your fastball. The work that you did this past off season, it sounds like there may have been some mechanical adjustments. Do you feel like you have kind of you have a good sense of exactly what you want to do, how you want to execute?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think the way that I'm going to go about it is I'm going to do what's going to be best for me, and what the Boston Red Sox can help me get the best out of me. There's definitely a different pitching philosophy back in 2019 that I didn't adjust to very quickly. And then when I got sent down, I got back to who I wanted to be, and that's where I'm at right now. I want to get back to my 2018 self. Obviously have better numbers in 2018, but I think that's a good base that can really build on these next 3 years. Getting to those 200 innings, 200 strikeouts. Being that reliable starter that goes out every single day on that 5th day and throws up 7 to 9 innings as best as I possibly can, or gives it my best effort every time.
Thanks a lot.
No problem. Thank you.
Nick, I think a lot of people have written that you're, a perfect change of scenery candidate. Do you agree with that? Do you think that's a correct assessment?
I think that all things happen for a reason. I'm very grateful for my time in Philadelphia and all of the lessons that it's taught me and all the relationships that I have. So I'm very grateful for that, but I'm also grateful for this opportunity to be a starter. They obviously had some guys that were pointed ahead of me, and that's what they had their eyes set on. And there was no room for me to be a starter there at this time, or it seemed like moving forward. So to be with an organization that values me as a starter, I'm just super grateful for that opportunity. I'm going to make the most of it.
Hey, Nick, Jen McCaffrey at the Athletic. Just some of that work that you put in this winter in LA, and you said you came into spring training feeling good. Do you think that the work that you did out there kind of put you on the right path, and that's something that you kind of want to continue doing here, or did it not feel right, and that's kind of what threw you off a little bit more?
So I think from a strength and conditioning standpoint, that's the best I've ever felt. Health-wise, I was dealing with a little shoulder discomfort there late in the year last year, and I think I missed about 2.5 weeks. And then I went into the off season, really, really worked hard, got myself around a really good group of guys. I didn't make some major changes with my arm. It was just trying to get into more of an efficient arm path. But I think that getting back to my mechanics of 2018, even going into 2019 and that spring training, that's just what I'm looking to get back to. Having that command of the strike zone, those really good off-speed pitches that allow me to put guys away quickly.
It seems like one consideration is service time, and obviously you weren't brought up to the majors immediately after the trade. Do you have any idea of what the plan is or when we should expect to see you at Fenway?
I think that's a better question to ask Chaim. I think all these things are in due good time. The most I can do is build myself back up the best I can, and then give myself the best opportunity to, if I get called up to the big leagues, pitch there as a starter with those innings behind me. So I think right now it's a little bit of it's going to take maybe an outing or maybe one or two more, and then we're going to be able to reassess from there.
Nick, you're in a new setting, of course, here in Pawtucket. What has it been like working with Paul Abbott, the pitching coach?
Paul's great. I've really enjoyed working with both the pitching coaches I have here. They seem very intelligent. They have a lot of experience behind them, and it's just getting to kind of know them, getting them to know me, who I am, and how I go about my business. It's kind of in those early stages where we get to know each other. I get to know what the philosophy here is with Boston. I get to know how they do their things compared to the Phillies. So, it's been really good. Everybody's been really, really nice and kind. And, I'm just looking forward to developing relationships with these guys even more.
Thanks.
Nick, just to clarify on some of what you referenced with regards to 2018. So what is that mix that you think you're trying to get back to?
Well, I've always had a powerful fastball. I've had a very good curveball. I feel like my slider has gotten tremendously better over times. And then just working in a changeup, I've gotten some really good feel for it as the past, I'd say about 2 months, really emphasizing working on that pitch just so I can have that fourth pitch mix. But, to be honest with you, it's getting my curveball back to where it was. And it hasn't been there as of lately, but, things come and go, and it allows room to grow in between on other pitches, so I think as I move forward, I get a more consistent schedule going, a better routine. I know where my direction is and where a team values me. It allows me just to focus on my art, my craft to move forward.
Thanks again.
No problem. Thank you.
Hey, Nick, welcome. I'm curious, what was your perception as an outsider of the Red Sox organization? You'd always, you'd never been around it before. So when you had heard about
it's funny you say that. So I grew up watching a lot of the Red Sox. I was a huge Blue Jays fan back when I started watching baseball. So I would watch Red Sox games all the way whenever the Blue Jays would be playing them, back in 2000, I'd say the earliest 2004 until present date. I didn't know a ton about the organization. I know it's a gritty organization that just goes out there and they're ball players and they want to win. And, you know, I'm just looking forward to being a part of that and moving forward with this team. You know, they've had a lot of success in the past, I'd say about 10, 15 years, you know, and it's just the consistency of the organization that I'm looking forward to developing with and moving forward with. Thank you.
Anything else for Nick? Anyone else have anything? All right, well, that's the last question then, Nick. You were born and raised in Canada. You've been watching the NHL playoffs. Do you have a favorite NHL team? And just don't say Tampa Bay Lightning.
No, I mean, it's pretty bad, you know, since my favorite team's always been the Canucks, but, you know, it's not much when the Bruins always beat up on the Canucks in playoffs. So it's been kind of a rough road between the Canucks and the Bruins.
Okay, well, thanks. Great to have you, and we appreciate your time today. Thanks, everyone.